This video is on haltering, bridling, and worming the problem horse. This horse, what she likes to do when she doesn't want to do something is she likes to go straight up in the air, rearing, and that's her way out when you go to halter or bridle or worm or cincher. So today we're working on haltering, bridling, worming. So see, as I go to put the bridle on, or the halter on, there she goes. She wants to go up. So now, since we're in the round pen, I'm going to go ahead and make her work for a while. I want her to think about what she just did. And so I'm going to go ahead and round pin her for a little bit here and get her working and get her thinking about what she's doing. And, not to rear up when we go to bridle her. This is just a motivator for her to overcome her problems here as far as accepting the bridle, the halter, and the wormer. There always has to be a motivator for her to have a reason to want to change. If there was no motivator, she'd never have a reason to change. And we don't use pain, we don't use fear as a motivator, but I will use a exercise that's going to improve her performance on the ground and under saddle. And today it's going to be round pinning. So I'm going to make her work for a little bit here, and then we're going to go back here. I'm going to ask her to do it again. I'm going to go ahead and start teaching her how to drop her head, because I want her to be good at dropping her head. So she'll drop her head into the halter or the bridle or the wormer. If she drops her head, she can't drop her head and rear up at the same time. So if she's following the cue, and there she takes off on me again. But if she's following the cue by dropping her head, then she can't rear up. And there, instead of rearing up, she just bolted out from me. So now I'm going to put her back to work, and we're just going to go right back to work so I can hurt my feelings that she wants to keep this up. I'm just going to send her back to round pinning for a while. And by the second or third time, she's going to start thinking long and hard about bolting or rearing up when I go to put the halter on. So now I stopped her again. I'm going to go ahead and have her start dropping her head again. And there she wants to take off again. So, this is the third time, so she can go back to work again. And like I said, by the second or third time, she's going to start thinking long and hard about wanting to bolt off her rear. All she has to do is accept the halter. So I'm going to do some inside turns here, get her really paying attention and focused on me. That's what I want her to be doing. And I'm going to do another inside turn here. And when I do inside turns, I'm just stepping back. So here we go for the fourth time now. All I want to do is let me put the halter on without her wanting to bolt off or rear up on me. So I'm going to go ahead and play with her head again. I'm going to ask her to drop her head again here in a minute. And there she goes and drops her head for me. And, she's starting to become a little bit more submissive now. And, really thinking about what I want her to do, which is accept the halter without rearing up or bolting off. So she's starting to be a little quiet, so I don't mind to put their heads all the way down on the ground. It just makes it easier for me to put the halter on. So now I'm going to go ahead and slip the halter over her nose a little bit, and she does good with that. Then I'm going to take it off. Then I'm going to put the halter back over her nose a little bit and take it back off. And I'm going to continue doing that for a little bit, just so she's good with it. We always go in steps on teaching the horses the things we want them to know. And the more steps you can put in the training, the better she's going to get. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep putting the halter over her nose again and again. And she's doing pretty good with that. Then I'm going to go ahead and reach around. She drops her head. Now she's dropping her head down to the level where I can go ahead and latch the halter up.
Good.
And she does pretty good with it. So now I'm going to go ahead and rub her and tell her, hey, that was great. And what she's going to find out is that all she had to do is allow me to put the halter on. And if she lets me do that without rearing up and bolting off, she doesn't have to go to work. She can just come and, stand by me. So now I'm going to teach her how to drop her nose into the halter. In this picture, I just put the halter, had the halter in both hands and went around her neck and held the halter down a little bit and put a little bit of pressure on her pull, and she dropped her nose into the halter. Then I go ahead and latch it up. From that position where she's in now, unless she threw her head up, she can't rear up because her head's going down. They can't rear up when their head's going down at the same time. So here I go again. I got the halter ready. I'm going to ask her to drop her head into the halter by putting a little bit of pressure on her pull, and she does it really, really nicely. So that's the haltering part, and this is day one of doing this. It's probably going to take a couple of weeks to get through to where she's totally over it. And she did really, really, really nicely there. I was really happy with her. So next, here in a few minutes, we're going to go into bridling. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one more time. So I'm going to show her the halter. I'm going to put a little bit of pressure. She lowers her own nose into the halter, and then I just go ahead and all I have to do is buckle it. And this is a really good way of teaching your horses how to accept the halter, because if you have kids and you want them to learn, kids aren't that tall, so the horse can drop her nose into the halter. So here we go with bridling now. Again, I'm going to bring her head off to the side a little bit, and I'm going to ask her to drop her head and to slip the bridle right on in, and there she did it really good. Before, she would rear up on me and not accept the halter. Now we're going into worming, and she really hates the wormer. So I'm going to just put it by her nose, rub it on her nose a little bit, and take it away. And she's not really liking
Mike.
that.
That was better.
That's better.